Intro.
All right, here's the audio. Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I'm Nima.
Hey, I'm Remy.
Hey! Thank you, everybody, for joining our weekly talk, discussion, hangout, whatever you want to call it, for Game of Thrones. This is Sunday, July 23rd. Is it, Remy?
I think so. Maybe it's the 22nd or 24th. I feel like we should know these things.
It's somewhere after the 20th, before the 30th.
It's the 23rd. You're right. All
right. So
you're right.
We're doing our discussion about episode 2 of season 7.
7. Game of Thrones, Stormborn.
There you go.
Which refers to Dany's, stormy night at the castle with Tyrion and stuff. Or when she was born in that castle back in the day.
Okay, did you know about that story prior to this?
No. I don't think, maybe it's new info in the show, but it was pretty cool.
I got
Yeah, was it me or was she kind of she's becoming kind of mean?
She's becoming super mean, pointlessly. I don't understand why.
Yeah. Super mean. Well, maybe greed, power, or whatever. She's like, maybe she can't wait to get it over with. But hey, last week remember when I told you that the uncle was just gonna destroy his niece and nephew's fleet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get to that sequence because obviously that was probably the biggest thing that happened in this whole episode. I had a question for you because they brought back Arya and like she's gonna go home and she's all excited about that, but she meets another dire wolf or maybe hers from the past.
Yeah.
What happened to her wolf? I don't remember. This was years ago, so I honestly don't remember.
This is season 1, like one of the first few episodes, and like King Roberts and his son, the asshole that we're so happy when he died in the Red Wedding.
Joffrey.
Or the Purple Wedding. Yeah, Joffrey. Joffrey gets attacked by one of the wolves, and Ned has to kill Sansa's wolf, and then Arya tells her wolf to go away, and I think that was a reunion of those two. Pretty sure.
But Arya goes, that's not you. Remember? No?
Is that what he said? I thought she said, "I saw you."
No, I think she said that's not you. Maybe I'm wrong. If anybody in the chat can let us know, just below, did she say, "I saw you," or "That's not you"? Because that's what I was gonna ask you. Is like, how many of these dire wolves are there? And dude,
but there's hers and Jon Snow's, and I think Bran's too. I'm not sure about that.
I think there's only one of them left. Go ahead.
Before we get carried away, Nima, I forgot to let everyone know who's watching this that if they're looking for a serious, Game of Thrones in-depth review, we're not gonna go that deep. We're not, we're just talking about it. We love this show, and we decided to do these like series about them. But yeah, if you're looking for really like in-depth reviews, there's plenty of other channels that do that. So there you go.
And they do it really well.
Questions?
Before I'm glad you brought that up because somebody left a comment just like a couple days ago on our last video, and they were asking about what our format is, if we're faking not knowing about these things. Like I think that's a great question, and like that summarizes our show really well. We don't know a lot of these things, and that's one of the main reasons we're doing this whole series is so we can learn more about like Game of Thrones, the lore, and the fans. So we may not know the names. At least speaking for myself, I don't know most of the names, don't know most of the history, so I'm just going to spend the next 7 weeks trying to learn it a little bit more at least. But, all right, so overall, what did you think about this episode? Compared to maybe even the last one? I don't know if you want to compare or not, but...
I didn't think it was as good as last episode, but the plot thickens. I love saying that.
You love saying that.
And it's going fast. Like I like how they did the messages. Mm-hmm. So it's not really chronological, but it's like really like jumping fast in time.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. How long would it take a raven to travel all that time? Like 2-3 days?
Sure.
Does it stop for a break for lunch? Do they sleep?
I will give you an answer based on my years of experience with raven and bird messages in general. That just about 2 days, maybe 2.5 if it's a slow one. But a good one.
2.5. All right. It's right around 50 hours or so.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that your Game of Thrones goblet that you're drinking beer out of?
no, but this is my Game of Thrones goblet.
Why aren't you drinking out of that?
Because I still need to wash it, and I haven't. So I don't trust drinking out of something that's brand new. But anyway, I actually, the exact opposite of you, I like this episode more than the last one. All the way up until the last fight scene. That I didn't like it much, but aside from that, I think it was a great episode.
The naval fight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I feel like I feel like it came out of nowhere, which is completely fine for a story, for a fight to come out of nowhere. But I just don't. I feel like it wasn't well done, and
it came out of nowhere that the uncle is like this like brutal badass fighter.
Right.
I didn't know he was just like hands-on, first in the front, let's kick some ass kind of guy.
Which is fine, but this character, it seems like the progression of this character is, even over the seasons, it's really fast and it's jarring. Like, it's to the point that, like, for example, like Theon has made a lot of growth over at least the last season and a half, right? I mean, obviously shit ton of things have happened to him in general, but a lot of growth happened that just completely went away, like in a scene. And I don't understand why. Because he was kicking ass just seconds ago. So it can't be just the blood. Because he was just killing people left and right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It couldn't have been the blood. It's just maybe a more authoritative figure telling him, to do something.
Like giving him an order? Okay.
It brought him, it just brought him back to Ramsay Day.
That's also a great question. Sorry, I'm reading the comments. Somebody asked, how did he find him? That's a great question, because like in a vast oceans, like you shouldn't be just coming across.
He's a master of the sea.
Yeah, but so are they.
He's a master of the sea.
So are they.
Oh, but they might not be as good. I know it kind of is weird that they got like side blinded like that. Like out of nowhere. They didn't catch this other fleet coming by. And where were they going? They were going towards where?
They were going to go... Oh, I forgot, because they had that whole opening scene where they were giving basically the summary of what each army is going to do. So I forgot what those two armies were going to do. Oh, wait. Were Theon and his sister, were they going to go to King's Landing?
Yeah, they were dropping off. Yeah, okay, they were dropping off some people at Dorne, the sisters and the mother, and then they were going to go to King's Landing to start the siege from the seaside.
Which, by the way, those characters, I love the people from Dorne, and it kind of sucks that like they just all go away. Oh, they were going to go to Dorne. Like all the cool characters, they seem to be from Dorne. They're badass, they're charismatic, they're confident, and they just die. Like, can we... Who else is left from Dorne?
Well, the last sister that's still alive after the fight, and her mother, and that's it that we know of. There's some characters in the rest of the storylines that are from Dorne.
What do you mean? Like in the rest of the show or the books or what?
Yeah. In the rest of the show, I think. I mean, I wouldn't know who, but you keep hearing these names of towns, so if we kept track, Nima, of who's from where and their names and stuff, we'll know exactly what's going on. But we don't know. Sorry, everyone watching. Thanks for watching, though.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And I have the comments up on the side. A Zia song fan? I don't know. You can tell us. How do you pronounce your name?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how would you maybe write it phonetically? Gosh, Nima, don't you feel ignorant just like me right now? We don't know how to pronounce this.
Well, a lot of people don't know how to pronounce my name. Fan. I don't hold it against them. It's fine.
Naima?
Naima and...
Nime?
You'd be surprised how many people call me Nemo. All the time.
Isn't that how you called your car once a long time ago?
That's what our friend Phil called my car.
That's true.
But let's go back.
Anyways, back on track.
Right.
The part where Jon tells Sansa, "The North is yours."
Love that scene. Incredible scene.
That was pretty good. Yeah, that was cool.
What were you getting at?
Nothing. I'm just trying to remember scenes so we can talk about them.
Okay.
You know, how do you feel about Varys after today?
We learned a lot more about him today. You know, about his past and the argument that he had with, you know, Daenerys, right? Is that her name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dany. She has many names. Queen of Dragons.
Queen of Dragons.
Mother of Dragons.
I like those names a lot better. But anyway, I like her, you know, growth into a strong, like, fierce leader. But these random arguments that she's having with a lot of people in multiple episodes just don't make sense. Like, somebody you trusted.
She's like trying to pick fights.
Right? Like, why would you, like, this some time has passed that you've partnered up with this person. Now, out of nowhere, you're going to question their loyalty for no reason? As if, you know, loyalty is a quality that you want to have in people ever. It's strange to me. But I like him. I like the fact that he was honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, well, we didn't know. We know a lot more about him. We know that he's like for the people, I guess. Unless he's BSing her, which is unlikely.
Everyone says they're for the people. Have you noticed within this one episode, like 4 different people said they're for the people?
Yeah, I guess so.
Even the most evil queen, Sansa, said she's for the people.
Cersei. Nima.
I'm so close.
The redhead.
But you never know. She could be the most evil queen ever, too. And I could be just days and weeks ahead of everybody else.
Viserys getting old.
Getting old in what way?
Ooh, good question, dude.
Yeah, I got loads of them.
Please.
No.
Go on. I'm not sure who Viserys is. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you should know. The guy with the characters.
I know.
You can keep talking while I Google it. It's fine.
Yeah, what about, did you think Arya was going to go to King's Landing or go up north to see Jon Snow?
Okay, you know what? Great point that you brought up. I hated that whole thing. I hate any movie and show that tries to do this whole divide in the road decision-making thing. You should have that. You should have a character make a decision. It can be a scene. Do it and do it well. But the fact that they all like either have a sign on the road that says King's Landing this way, your brother this way, or like when she walks out of the tavern, whatever she's in, the guy goes, 200 miles to King's Landing this way. I was like, really? Like, people aren't that dumb.
So obvious.
Right. Like,
yeah,
your audience is a group of adults. You don't need to be like, all right, she's going to make a decision right now. It's literally a fork in the road. She has to decide if she goes right or left. I hate that shit. I mean, obviously.
And you already know she wants to go up north. Like, I mean, we knew she was going to turn around and go there.
Because, like, that's where the character should go. That's where the last, 7 seasons have built towards her getting revenge because she thinks her family's gone. Now she was realizing her family's not gone, so yeah, that's where she should go. Like, it's great. Have a dramatic decision-making scene, and I'm all for it.
She has her mission, and she's so, set on going there and to kill the queen. And now, Jon Snow's alive and he's king in the north. I'm going to go up there. And then he's on his way down south to go to Dragonstone.
Right.
So they might meet in between. I don't know how the map looks. But she's gonna, if she gets to Winterfell, it's just gonna be her sister there.
Right. But then her sister will be able to fill her in on the rest of the story, and because her sister knows a lot more than Arya does at this point. Because Arya's just been doing this whole man on fire revenge killing for the last season and a half. So
yeah,
I like the fact that you want your characters to be multifaceted. So if they have one goal, it's good to be driven away from that goal. I like that. I enjoy, because I'm gonna offend a whole bunch of Game of Thrones fans because I feel like this show is like a mile wide, but it's only an inch deep. Where everybody, what they're going to do. So it's nice when they do something that you maybe weren't expecting in the last episode, or, their story gets to be developed a lot more. So I enjoy the fact that she's going to, now she's on a new road. Oh, Jesus. On a new road to go see her brother. And I was kind of hoping that she gets her dog back. And, it was like a heartbreaking moment when that dog walked away. Because I was just sitting here with my dogs, and I was like, "Oh, you better not do that."
You know, in the book. Yeah. Oh, by the way, that dog scene, that wolf scene, dire wolves.
Yeah.
It's done so well. Like they all look so good. Like the I don't know what it is. Just editing was just so perfectly done. Even when the bigger wolf like comes really close, it's like wow. So I don't remember scenes where like dog scenes where it's like really good like that.
As far as I know, they're all real dogs that they've just digitally make bigger. One of them they make bigger.
Yeah.
I mean,
but in the books, in the books, all the Stark kids are able to warg with their wolves.
Warg, as in like do the thing, the connectivity.
Yeah,
thing?
like you know, how Bran was like he used to go run as his wolf. So he used to work with them, and he was able to work with Hodor. And he's probably gonna do it with a dragon.
Just like you keep saying that.
I can't wait to see it happen. You know it's gonna happen, or they're just teasing.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but keep going. Have you started reading the book?
No, I don't have time for that.
How do you know that in the book? Oh, because of your wife. We have to get her on here, by the way.
Arya should kill Cersei. I would love to see that.
I agree, actually. You know what? Yeah. That would be awesome.
She deserves to kill her. Yeah, I would be like brutal, but good.
But I mean, she is literally going the exact opposite way now, isn't she?
Yeah. So I don't know if she had like a maybe it'll be easier to get to Cersei if we go up there, and once Arya realizes like the bigger conflicts out there in the world and lets go of her revenges and such, maybe she'll start strategizing and help, I don't know, the North families and stuff. Who knows?
No, I get that.
Who knows? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen next?
I don't know, man. I don't want to speculate too much.
Throw it out there. Throw it out there.
I feel like it's just like I said in the last episode, it's due time for one of these main characters to die. Like Theon's sister, I was expecting and fully was okay with her just going away in this episode. So I imagine it's going to happen sometime soon. Between Arya and Cersei and Sensei, I don't know who's going to kill who, but I think the discussion that was happening earlier in this episode where they were talking about, and they brought it on a couple times, how Dany isn't going to be the Queen of Ashes. Honestly, in the back of my mind, the moment they brought it up, I was like, why not? Like, don't you want to conquer, the 7 worlds? Why? That would be done quickly. I get the point that they don't want to just kill everybody, but there's a certain group of people that they definitely want to kill. So just send the dragons there.
Right.
Like, doesn't she have control over at least a little bit of who they kill?
I don't think she can, like, really command the dragons around. They're loyal to her, like pets would defend you, Yeah, like
but she rides one of them. She gets it guided where it goes, right? Or no?
I don't know.
Maybe not, because she fell off of it.
No idea.
Okay. Oh, Sam, gonna be the best Meister ever? Yeah, that whole sequence, by the way, was disgusting. With Sam and Lord.
That was so good.
Sir,
I loved how it transitioned to this dude eating this pie thing.
Yeah. Like it was supposed to be gross,
a lot of pus, and then I'm like, oh, that's not pus. It's just delicious looking cheesy soup goodness.
Delicious pie that I really want to have some.
Yeah.
The whole sequence with Sir Jorah. I don't do well with like medical stuff and like seeing things happen in front of me. So I was borderline fainting when I was watching that whole sequence. But what's like, is he gonna be cured now? So does he go back to Dany? Because he was banished to go find a cure.
Yeah. She ordered him to go find a cure for this.
Why? Why did she?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that storyline is going. I don't know why they brought Jorah came back. What?
No, I like. No, somebody said or oatmeal. I like Jorah. I want him to be back.
Good looking oatmeal.
God, this is disgusting now. I like that he's back. I just don't understand why Dany sent him on a mission. I get, come back because I want you to be well and stuff, like in a figurative kind of way. But man, if his journey literally went from the end of season 6 to just the very beginning of season 7, and now he's got the cure, I was like, all right, I'm back now. That's not much of a journey.
Yeah, what's the point of it?
Right.
Well, no, but what's the point? Yeah.
It might as well have been somebody handed him a potion. It was
he
like,
caught this. Yeah. We both know he got this for a reason later for the storyline, I hope.
But I mean, he's probably not going to have it anymore, right? Because Sam's going to literally slice each one of them away. What?
Yeah, sure, but what if it doesn't work, and what if he's sent to that place with all of those people affected with the Stone's disease?
Okay.
And maybe that can be when, like in Lord of the Rings, when Aragorn goes into that, cave and gets all the ghosts out to go fight the war. Maybe he's gonna do that with those guys.
True, but how many of them were there? Do we remember?
Who knows? There might be thousands, and they might be really strong.
But they turn into rocks, right? Like they become rocks. Is that what happens?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure. I think they might just completely turn into rocks and die that way.
Right, because he was saying it's going to take years and years for him to die, but that was my question, actually. The main Meister, whatever his name was, he was talking to Sir Jorah, right, about his condition and stuff, and he said it's going to take you like 20 years to die, whatever that number was. But he said it's going to take you 6 months to what? I didn't catch that. I didn't want to go back. Did he say to go blind?
No. No, and so I think they're talking about how how long is it gonna be until it covers his whole body. I think that's what they meant.
Okay. So just covering the whole body. And is it like, do people that maybe have read the book and stuff, like I don't want to linger on one tiny detail, but is it actually rocks on his skin? Like, does his skin become rock-like? Because isn't that what you want as a soldier? I don't know. Like, don't you want to speed it up?
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a Stoneman army, like Zhao Song fan is saying. I think I said that right.
Oh, loose mine. Okay, that's what he was asking.
Because think about it, they just lost their whole navy, so the siege can't happen anymore because the sea is not going to be covered around King's Landing.
Right.
So they won't be surrounded anymore because literally the only naval army is that uncle. What's his name? Uran, whatever.
Yeah, it was Uran. That's what.
Lose the mind.
Yeah, in 6 months he's gonna lose his mind apparently. Like roughly 6 months, not exact. Oh, I'm out of focus. Oh, there we go. I think you mentioning that he should have like a Lord of the Rings sequence where he goes and gathers the army of the stone people. I think this episode almost tried to have a Lord of the Rings battle sequence with the camera movements at the very end, and they're just like, I don't want to be mean, but they like failed miserably. Like that whole sequence, the battle sequence, was just such a mess. And I get,
yeah, it's on boats, man. Like put yourself in that situation. That's probably what you would see happen because it's on boats and it moves a lot. And it's and you're fighting and there's swords swinging and stuff. Fire.
I get that, and it's been used a lot as a way to make you feel like you're in front of it. So it's like the shaky cam movement and like the quick cuts and stuff.
Right.
Like I think it went too much because you're not supposed to have your audience lose track of where they are and get startled by the next cut and be jolted back to try to figure out what are they looking at. And I feel like that whole battle sequence had a lot of it where it cut to something and your mind takes a couple milliseconds to be like, what am I seeing? Who's this guy? You're not supposed to do that to your audience. Like the audience,
you can't tell who's killing who. You don't know if it's a bad guy killing a good guy or a good guy killing a bad guy.
Right. And every shot should serve a purpose. So that's why in the last few years there has been this resurgence of incredible action movies or action shows where they use wide angles, they have steady shots because they want the audience to see exactly what's happening. I get it. Like Saving Private Ryan did it really well to put you in the middle of the war, but I feel like everybody else is just trying to fake it and they just do it really poorly. Like basically, remember Jason Bourne like 2 or 3? It got to the point that it felt like the cameraman was having a seizure, and that's what this sequence felt like to me. There was a couple of shots that were really stable, gorgeous shots where I could follow the characters and the drama and the action. But there was a whole bunch of just like the camera just going crazy and just people swinging swords for no reason. I hate that. But sorry. Right?
No, it's all good. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, like I was saying.
Pirates of the Caribbean was one of my favorite movies. Like there you go. That's one. I had plenty of battle sequences.
The first one.
Actually, you know, I like 2 as well. I like 2 a lot. But I haven't seen 4 or 5. I don't know how many has been since then, but I haven't seen those.
That's what Game of Thrones was missing. They were missing like a Pirates of the Caribbean flair to it. They have everything else. They just didn't have pirates yet.
They had pirates.
Actually, they did have pirates.
And the pirates were amazing. No, not even was it the pirates? Because the pirates were at the birth of the light god's little demon thing that came out. They were there, weren't they? At the beach when that thing came out? Yeah, like really early on in the show. Like really early on. There was pirates, and I could be mixing up multiple episodes, but I thought they were there with the lady in red and all that.
Yeah, no, the pirates. Okay, so Stannis had taken the pirate army to King's Landing. Remember when they attacked King's Landing? That's when Tyrion like got his face slashed open.
And when he saved the day, basically.
That's also when. Yeah, that's also when the Hound like left King's Landing with Arya or Sansa or neither. I don't know.
What did she say? What did she say? What did she say? Tell me. I imagine she's yelling at us. I want to know what.
Oh my gosh, she's just upset that we're not doing a good job.
I'm sorry. We'll get her on.
I know. It's okay. Yeah, I know. You'll be on soon, Mariah, and then things will be better.
For people that don't know, Remy's wife is really into Game of Thrones. So I imagine she's just sitting in another room, just like pulling every single hair out that, you know, her husband is just destroying the show. Because obviously she has no control over me.
She's probably mad at you too, man.
But that's fine. I feel safe. I'm not married to her.
I know. You're in a different house.
Right. Miles and miles away.
Anyways, let's get back on track here. Gosh, distractions.
Go on.
I don't know. What do you got? There's so many interesting things. Like the beautiful love scene.
That was interesting, actually. I think it went a little bit too long, but it was interesting.
Why do you think it went too long? It's so good to finally see those two characters. Like, they had a good scene. That was really good acting, I feel like.
And it was, it was great.
Got personal with them.
Right. And it, like, the moment the scene started, they literally tackled all the questions that at least I had in my head. Because, like, I don't want to be that kid that's really immature, because I was like, oh, is this leading to a sex scene? Does he not have, like, I thought his thing was cut off. So, and they tackled that really nicely and in a mature way.
I know.
So yeah. I enjoy that. And I enjoy these two characters that I like getting together and confessing their love. But I think, like, as far as time goes, it went too long. It was weird. And like, got to the point of, I was like, am I going to watch these two just have, you know, just romantic sex for a while? Or are we going to cut to something else now? That's what I was feeling.
Abel's got a point though about the fight scene at the end being kind of confusing.
I get Abel, you're right about that. And I understand the decision making that goes behind it. But I feel like if you're gonna make that decision, you should do it really well. And I feel like most people don't do it really well. And I feel like this was one of them, because there were shots that were incredible in the battle sequence and they nailed it perfectly, even if it was like shaky or, you know, shocking, basically. I don't know what, confusing even. But there were also a whole bunch of shots that were completely pointless, way too confusing to me, at least the audience. But I could be in the very minority of somebody who just didn't take well to that sequence. But I feel like it was important enough to do it well.
Yeah, no, well, you know, you have, I don't want to say high expectations of some of these scenes, but kind of. But Abel has a cool other question. I think Arya will meet the Brotherhood along with Hound. That would be sweet, man, because then she can, like, talk to them into going up north to meet with Jon Snow, and then they can go and, because then it's like the priest of the light or whatever, and that's a cool little, like, you know, group to have fighting along against the White Walkers.
I think that's such a great idea. I don't know if I want to call it idea, but that would be great. That's a great way for the show to like build hype and momentum if Arya does do that.
Yeah.
Because she has the connection with the Hound, and the Hound is becoming such a badass character. And I mean, he's always been.
She killed the Hound. She believed she doesn't know he's alive still.
Right, but like even they got along surprisingly well. Like even when, so that's what I'm saying. Like if she finds out he's alive, and if they connect, and like that is the sequence that you're talking about. That is the character going and finding another army and like bringing him in. That would be awesome. The Brotherhood is badass. Yeah. I mean, technically, one of them comes back to life all the time, right?
Yeah, and he doesn't know why. That poor guy. He needs purpose. So if purpose is to go fight the White Walkers, which the Hounds saw in the fire, then they should go up north because that's where they should be to fight that.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I kind of want to see. I want to know what the Hound saw. Obviously, he described it, which was fine in the last episode, but I would have much rather seen it, which is totally fine.
Well, it'd be cool if they can figure out how to like zoom into the fire and like with CGI like make something happen out of that.
I imagine
that's probably really hard to do though.
But I mean, hard to do is one thing. This show has the finance or the logistics down to be able to do whatever they want. I imagine, aside from Westworld, HBO's throwing more money on this than anything else they could possibly be producing. So they can do whatever they want.
Remember every season so far has been kind of like culminating all the way till the last 2 episodes. And so I think DZ was
he made a good
right
point
about it. Yeah. So that means it's going to get so freaking epic later. So
for people that know, maybe how many seasons are left? I know at least one more season. But is it 2 more seasons?
I think that's this one and another season, but who knows? I mean, this was supposed to be the last season, and they're just gonna drag it. I think there's some kind of money reasons for that. But if it's working, if it's making money, why would you stop? Like
that because I feel like that's the exact reason you should stop at some point. You should the saying that quit while you're ahead is.
Yeah, sure. You don't want to keep going and take the risk of ruining the whole story, but I mean, we're living in the make money world, not the make good art and call it a day when it's perfect world.
Right, but I mean, HBO can do that at the same time. There's nothing wrong with Game of Thrones. I don't want them to stop just for the sake of stopping. But I feel like if you're going ahead of the books, you're in this risky place that you're not following what the fans love, which is fine. You can lead the pack now. You can be the thing that everybody follows as opposed to the books. But I feel like you are getting to that point that you were saying of just wanting to continue because millions of people will tune in every episode and millions of people will continue to subscribe to you, which is how you make your money. But at some point, I feel like HBO should make that call and be like, that's it, no more. Season 8 with 6 episodes. Oh yeah, DZ, you're right, because I read an article that season 8 episodes could be feature length long, which is awesome. I love it when shows do that.
What does that mean? Like 2-3 hour episodes?
Like it could be an hour and a half. Feature length usually talks about hour and a half at least.
Okay.
Like Sherlock does that really well, where every episode is roughly feature length, and it's awesome. I feel like that's the way shows should be. Keep the episodes, like number of episodes low, but make every episode longer, and it just makes it more meaningful that way. I love it.
It'd be cool if they made a series where it starts with like 5-minute episode, then it goes to 15 and 30, and by the end, it's like a movie you go to see in movie theaters because it's like epic.
That's interesting.
So if they're making the last 6 episodes like that, it might be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass. Abel, and yeah, I think you're right. She is literally going through her past and meeting, and actually not only meeting Hot Pie again, but literally going through almost the same exact stops too, like in the same exact places. So I wonder. Oh God, my horrible memory is bad. Like what else happened in her past that we could almost predict in the next episodes?
I don't know, man. She went from Winterfell to King's Landing with Ned Stark.
Yeah, with the whole
family.
family.
And then she left. No, not the whole family. Just Sansa and Ned. That's it. And then they left. she left. I don't remember how she got out of King's Landing. The Hound or something. But anyways, yeah, we're pretty bad with that.
Wait, the whole family didn't go to King's
Mariah's
Landing?
probably rolling around over there. Huh?
Her whole family didn't go to King's Landing with Ned?
No.
It was just her that witnessed the murder?
Her
and
Sansa.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only two people, that's it. It was just them three.
So now that you brought up Sansa, what do you think is going to happen with her being the leader of, the North, and also at the same time with the guy that his picture was on the screen just a moment ago, Lord Baelish.
Peter. Yeah, Baelish.
Because I feel like I like the guy. I really do like the guy. And he's probably one of my favorite characters because he is genuinely really deep and multi-layered to the point that you don't know as an audience what he's going to do.
He's like the most poker face of this whole show.
Right.
Now we know more about Varys, and I hope we can learn more about Peter, because I remember at the beginning of the series, it was like these two were like kind of working together and they knew a lot and they had their secrets, and now they're like different worlds. But we know about Varys now. I hope we learn more about Baelish, because his intentions. I think he's just in love with Sansa, and that's it. I don't know if he's got greed for power and stuff. I mean,
see, I kind of disagree with you on that, because I feel like it's the exact opposite. He has a greed for power, and he's shown in the last few seasons that he will do these conniving, really smart things to get to that power. I don't think. I mean, I feel like you're partially right. I feel like he does love her just like he loved her mother. But I feel like if the show focuses on that too much, it becomes to the point of being borderline creepy. That this guy...
Well, it is.
Yeah,
he's in love with Sansa.
How do you know that? I mean, you can't take this word...
He said it.
Yeah, but this is Lord Baelish saying that. How many things has he said? He married that crazy breastfeeding lady, and he just threw her in the well. I mean, he said crazy things.
He did that. Okay, yeah, that just shows that he's very, very calculated.
Right.
We just don't know what his calculations is going to work towards.
Yes, and that's probably...
Is it just because he wants to stay with Sansa and that's it? Knowing, she doesn't like him like that? He's smart enough to realize it's never going to happen with Sansa.
She doesn't like him like that? She's going to be like, oh, we can just be friends.
So, what's the term? We're just friends. Friend-zoned.
I agree. So, he's one of my favorite characters. And it would be amazing if he does end up on the throne. I feel like that's a great way to wrap up the arc.
Yeah, he's one of the most intriguing characters. I wouldn't be surprised to see him there. But isn't he the reason why Ned Stark got killed?
Dude, you're asking a guy who doesn't even remember yesterday. So is he the reason Ned Stark got killed? Was he the one that was conniving?
Maybe Abel knows.
Yeah, Abel or DZ
he's the
or anybody.
One that he got the lady. What's her name? Sansa's mother's sister.
Jesus, man! Like, oh,
Come
right,
on,
right.
Do it.
You're talking about the crazy one.
The lady. Yeah, the crazy lady that Baelish pushes down.
Yeah.
That after they get married.
What does that have to do with season 1?
He convinced her to poison the hand of the king, which started the whole story.
Oh, right. Possibly. I'm saying right because it matches in my
King
head.
Robert's going to Winterfell to ask Ned Stark to be his new hand of the king because his previous one got murdered or poisoned or just dropped.
A lot of quote marks there. So. Okay, that's interesting.
So
does that mean he's been planning this whole thing?
But why? No one knows why he pushed that first domino down. Who knows? Maybe I've missed something. Maybe you missed something.
No, maybe this is it. Maybe just like Abel was saying, maybe he did push that first domino down and he's just been sitting back, slowly, pushing people along the way to get to what he wants, which is complete power, which is the Iron Throne. Why is the Iron Throne such a big deal?
That might not be his goal. Who knows? Maybe he's a good guy after all. I don't think so. But
you think he's a bad guy, or do you think it's night and day clear like that? DZ, we'll get to that.
We don't know.
Go ahead. No, don't stop thinking.
Well, hold on. Yeah. What was I saying? Baelish.
You're saying we were talking about good and bad.
His
maybe
reaction. His reaction when he hears about Daenerys and her dragons coming over. Same thing. No idea. Like, poker face this guy, man.
Right. I mean,
good acting.
It's great acting. I think the point of his character is when he reacts to certain events or certain scenes, people fans of of the show, of the character, on the exact opposite sides, like you and I, can take that reaction in whatever way we want to take it. It's meant to be vague like that, where he's like, oh, he's scared, oh no, or or he's excited about it.
Yeah, we don't know. That's great because it leaves room for imagination.
And I would
different kind of people are going to think different things.
I would love for a side character like him to become, the it at the very end, to be the person that's sitting on the throne at the very end. Because remember, he was right there. He was in the throne room, planning from the very beginning. Just like you were saying, I didn't even know the thing about the poisoning in the past, that he was the one that was involved. I mean, it's all coming together now.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I wouldn't be surprised to see the whole story end with all these main characters that we like in, the main room with the throne, and they're all there together. And now the new task is of who should be put as the king or queen.
Oh, like a sequence where they decide the whole thing.
Yeah, because it's pretty obvious that the whole story is going to end with the White Walker army against the People's Army, and when that's over, it's going to be a mess, and the few people left over, that's how the show should be ending. I think.
No, I think that could be.
Anyways, let's go to Dizzy's question. What was it? Do you guys think Jon will find out about Lisa's parents by himself, or will Bran tell him the story?
He's talking about the flashback sequence in the last season where he finds out he is actually the son of
a Targaryen.
Yeah, there you go. The sister of it.
Hold on, I don't know if we know that for sure. I don't know if it confirmed everything. I think it did. Right?
I mean, you were talking to me last year that it did confirm everything.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, where is Bran right now? And Jon's going south, so Bran. I mean, how is he going to find him to tell him that?
Bran escaped with his protector, the girl that was with him the whole time in the last season after Hodor, right? So I don't remember what happened after that whole sequence. But DZ, what do you think will happen if he does find out? He gets to have a claim to the throne, so he's gonna go to. Ooh, dude, here's an interesting thing. That is a.
But keep in mind, they're gonna meet next episode probably. Jon Snow and Dany.
Right. What I was saying is, if he gets to have a rightful claim to the throne, and Dany wants that throne, so now we go to Jon wanting to actually help out Dany, the dragon, whatever lady.
To a conflict for the throne.
To a conflict, and Jon hasn't been a character that has ever been interested in conflict. He just wants to save the North.
Yes,
that's all he cares about.
Jon is a good person. Yeah, but he's still a good person that he wants, protection for everyone. He would be a nice king. Dany, she would be a nice queen too. She just wants to have people be free, but I don't think she really knows how to do that or something. Maybe they need to team up.
Dude, that's highly debatable. Has she ever proven that she's going to be a nice queen? She freed the slaves because it worked out well for her.
That's true.
And she's
what if she turns around and becomes as crazy as her father and such?
I think she's borderline that already. At every moment, in every show, we're like, oh, she's going to fight somebody else now. And the dragons are far away. Otherwise, they'll just be eating
She's
people
going to
right.
snap.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah, they did confirm it. That's true.
Okay.
So yeah.
Who is
gonna be pretty interesting.
Lady something? The old grandmother of Marjorie?
Yeah. She's a Tyrell?
Sure. I think
this is when we're gonna start getting hate mail.
Yeah, that's okay.
When we're not sure about the houses and stuff.
I'm fully
What
open
about
my
her? What about her?
I really like her a lot, and I feel like every time she's in the show, she drops this wisdom. Like in this episode, she was talking about don't trust what's his name? Peter Dinklage. But what does he play?
Wait, what?
The short guy. What's his character's name?
Tyrion.
Tyrion.
Come on, it's Tyrion.
Yeah, okay. Like,
out of all the names, you should remember that one the best because he might end up on the throne too.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, fan. I like her a lot, and she was dropping hints that maybe Danny shouldn't be trusting him, and I think that's really interesting because I like the fact that the more they push her towards the evil side, which, you know, people get to the bad side for real good motives, at least in their own eye. I feel like this would be interesting if she ever starts doubting him and do awful things. That would make it fascinating. We need Ned. Ned is in 2 pieces at the moment.
Yes, he is. Oh, man.
Man, Sean Bean has never played a character that doesn't die. I feel like. I'm pretty sure it's in his
Apparently
contract.
it's pronounced Sean Bean.
No, it is not. Is it really Sean Bean? I've been saying
so.
Sean Bean for...
Yeah, me too. Mariah corrected me one day. We need Ned, yeah. Am I saying those later? I'm saying those later.
Yeah, you're seeing those a little bit. But you can see in the chat.
What did you think about... You know when they're in Dragonstone in the war room with a badass table that we want so badly for ourselves?
So badass.
It was cool seeing these other characters, like the mother from Dorne, and then Lady Tyrell, I guess her name is. Because now they're all like a team. I would have, you know, it was kind of a surprise seeing them there. How did they, you know, plan to, like, hey, we have a meeting. You should better get on your boat and get here in about a week and a half. We're going to plan this war.
Right. I feel like... And that's... I mean, we talked about this in the last episode. That's one of the most frustrating things is they skip over a lot of the logistics that would have...
Yes. Okay.
Taken place there. Go ahead.
There's the uncle, Euron, that built a new ship boat army, and the boats are pretty cool.
In a matter of a week and a half, it seemed like. But go ahead.
Probably took a year, but who knows, really. I'm glad that they don't, you know, put the things in timelines.
No, like, they shouldn't do that.
By now, if you don't realize that everything's happening like in different, like, you know, times stretches.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop that right now. So if the Dorne people came to Dragonstone, they had to cross the sea, and the Tyrell had to do the same thing. I think they're across the sea as well. I'm not sure. And they didn't come across like this huge armada of boats, while that same armada of boats was going towards the other armada of boats. I mean, come on.
Just gonna keep saying that word, huh? I mean, I don't know, but depends on yeah, no. I agree, Abel, but I mean, if we had a map, like an actual real map of, you know, this world, it would help a lot in this case, because, you know, maybe everything's happening in the top right and these guys just went from the bottom right corner to the bottom left or something. Like, it's really easy to skip that, but a lot of those things do frustrate me, because like the time span thing that you're talking about, it's at best like hinted at in this show. Like, it's never done anything more than like assume that every viewer is on board with this time progression thing that nobody ever even mentions. Like, nobody mentions, yeah, you remember last year when we did the thing? A lot of shows do this to let their audience know time has passed by. Like, they will literally go on break for summer and they will come back and somebody will joke, what did you do over the summer? Because that shit, as jokingly as it is, it helps out because, you know, time has passed by. But this show doesn't give a shit about that.
They couldn't do that here because they've been in the summer for the past 7 years.
I'm not saying say
winter.
Summer. Say, you know, it's been 200 fortnights. Say something that fits the lore of the universe, but let the people know that this dude didn't just build the ships over the weekend, which it felt like in this show because everybody's the same age. Everybody looks different, maybe a different haircut. Like, you have no way to know how long has passed. The only way you know actually is the dude with the scales on his body, because last you saw him he only had the stones on his forearm and now it's his whole body.
Yeah, so
he's the only one.
It's been a year probably, but we don't even know the scale of that.
I love how we're just lingering on this one thing, or I am at least. It just bothers me so much.
Well, no, I mean it's pretty cool. It's like part of the show now. It's like wink, wink. Years or months are going by.
I feel like those kind of things are important in like a, not so much a fantasy, but if you're talking about political drama, you kind of want to know how long things have passed, because this show moves, I mean, over the last 7 seasons at a really like relentless pace.
What?
So much has happened. So many battles.
It's going really fast right now.
Oh, I mean, it's always been.
The Ravens might take a few days to go from one place to the other.
Yeah, we've established 2.5 at best.
And then the boat rides must take a while too. And then there's building boats. An armada of them.
Like, that's the thing. All the things you've mentioned, this show, as far as I remember, and I'll be honest, I don't remember things very well, so I could be absolutely wrong. Sam's baby's still a baby. Thank you, fan. That's another good point. This show's timeline barely makes any sense. Like all those things.
Well, he's a baby, but he's a grown. He's like 2 years old. He looks like a 2-year-old baby. Well, how long did he have the baby?
You're telling that to somebody who, babies more or less look the same until they're like 15 to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're a teenager now, so I can't know what the 2-year-old baby looks like versus like an infant, but.
Okay, you need to hang out with like some 4 and 5 years olds because they talk a lot, and they're not a baby that can't speak. Babies are nice when they can't speak, and then they speak, and it's like harder to deal with.
There's 0 reasons I would ever hang out with 4 or 5 year olds, and I'm okay with. I'm okay with this ignorance about. Cool. Are they?
Well, it's interesting to see a human being, like learning stuff as they go. Because when you're 4 or 5 and you're just barely speaking, it's like. What'd you just say? Oh man, you're so smart. Stuff like that. DZ. How long will John and Davos use to sail to Dragonstone? I don't think they're sailing there. I think they're walking there. I mean, horseback riding there. I hope they're not walking there. It would take forever.
You know what?
I don't know how long it's going to take. Isn't Dragonstone like under... Is Dragonstone across the sea? I feel like it's like south of King's Landing.
Dude, every map in this show, there's a sea next to the place that they want to go to. So every place seems like it's across the sea, except from Whiterun, I think. Whiterun is not even this show.
But that's why the intro map is so interesting, because they update it with the new places that are now in the show.
Correct.
And they show Dragonstone. I just don't remember if it's on the same coast or the opposite one, or across the sea. I think it's.
I would incorporate that map.
It would probably take like a good month via horseback to get there. Because I remember in episode 1, it takes them 1 month to go from King's Landing to Winterfell. 1 month.
Okay. No, that's good. So, that's really good. With John having to travel, he would be a perfect example of how you can show time progressing. Just let his freaking beard grow. Like he's like a perfectly trimmed dude the whole time. Just let it grow. Like let it grow for like 2 weeks, and then time has passed by.
That's true, man. I wish they did that more often.
Think about it. The crazy redheaded bearded dude? He's had the same length of beard and perfectly trimmed this whole show. Like everybody, like I imagine there's a point of making sure characters look the same.
Okay. Yeah, but
we got to move on from this. I feel like I'm sorry.
They don't have phones. That's what the beauty of this show, Nemo.
They don't have phones. What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, they're sailing. They are sailing there. Oh, I'm so glad you caught this, DZ. Okay, so it is across the sea, I guess. So they have to make it to the sea, and then.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. What is that? What do you think a boat is sailing? It sounds like.
I was boating, Nemo. I was sailing to Dragonstone.
Yeah, it sounds like your boat has a rocket. No. Go ahead. Sorry, don't get sidetracked.
That would be nice. I mean, that's all we do is get sidetracked. But no, if they don't have phones, they don't have things, they don't have, they only have a lot of time. So what would you do with that time? You just, trim your beard. Anyways, moving on. Oh, there's one other thing I want to talk to you about.
That's where you were getting at.
The huge weapon that
ginger pubes.
This new crazy mad scientist.
Yeah. Sorry, don't get sidetracked. I'm just reading these comments out loud. Go ahead.
You're seeing them before I see them because I'm not seeing that yet.
You should bring up the regular chat. It will show you at the same time I do. That's what I'm looking at. I just look at the regular chat. I don't look at the video. But you were saying the crazy weapon, right? Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah, you know, the big harpoon thing that is supposed to kill dragons. I mean, you know when he shoots the big dragon head, which was pretty cool, by the way. It's just like a little, it's like a little toothpick just getting in that head. Like they're not gonna be able to like kill a dragon with that. But since they show it, that means we have to watch out for it. And I'm sure one of the dragons will die by this weapon.
I mean, like in every fantasy thing, that's literally exactly how dragons do die, though. It's a spear that goes like inside of them.
Really?
Yeah. As far as I remember, I'm pretty sure. That's how the dragon. That's how the dragon died in Hobbit.
Oh yeah, the Hobbit.
Didn't the dragon in the old Sean Connery movie also get stabbed? I don't remember what it was called, but dragons like have a weakness to getting stabbed apparently. So.
I mean, I guess. Back in the day when dragons were around, you could only kill them with.
Back in the day when dragons were around. Edges. Just want to make it clear to anybody who's watching: dragons were never around. Remy's just joking. We're not. We're not implying that dragons were.
No, well, you can't say that. You can't say that. They might have existed. I just don't think they were able to spit fire.
What are you getting? What do you mean? Dragons are like in the same category as unicorns.
Maybe unicorns are real too. Were back in the day
when there was no phones.
That'd be cool. Like I would love to see a dragon and a unicorn fight. It'd have to be a pretty badass unicorn, yes, but it could be pretty interesting.
I wish you hadn't said that out loud because now somebody's gonna steal that idea and make the most epic battle ever of a dragon and a unicorn fighting. Ginger pubes.
Yeah.
That ginger pubes is gonna be stuck in my head forever, and I really hope I don't say it out loud.
Hold on. If John and Davos are gonna sail down, isn't there a risk they might get intercepted by Euron?
I mean, maybe Euron's whole mission is to do that, but at the same time, we don't know how big this whole ocean is.
Yeah, but Euron doesn't want to go get Jon Snow. He wants to find Tyrion. That's why he hasn't killed his niece yet, because he wants to find out where they're staying at. I mean, that makes sense, right?
Where are you getting this knowledge from? Because he hasn't said. He just said he's going to bring a gift back.
Yeah.
So, and, dude, what part of that gift could be Jon Snow?
No, what does Cersei want the most? She doesn't care about Jon Snow right now.
Her brother. Just kidding.
Tyrion.
No, damn it. That's not what I meant. I meant Jaime. Joke completely failed.
Jaime. By the way, Jaime is just like, she's, when he's talking to the Tally, he's talking to the commander of the Tally army, I guess.
Yeah, with his son Dixon.
You know which guy, right?
Dixon? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Sam also is that guy's son.
That's the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh man, sorry guys.
I their name, but
no, I know who you're talking about. I feel bad that I completely missed that. I didn't even realize it.
Oh, it's okay. I missed it too. Mariah just reminded me. Oh, that's Sam's dad.
Randall Tarley.
Tarley, the Tarleys. Randall.
She's just like growing in frustration.
That's such an American name.
But it's not spelled the name.
Rendon Tarley.
Randall.
Randall. Good talk, baby. You're on next episode, so
yes, let's do it. We got to make that happen.
Yeah, I know. It would be so good when she starts talking about. We'll just kind of not say anything, and she's going to do all the talking.
Yeah, our boxes will slowly get smaller and smaller.
And just fade away, and this is going to become the Mariah show. What if Daenerys fails? She might.
I think those are the kind of things that would make the show really, really interesting. Oh, I completely missed DZ's comment. They travel to the coast and then sailing to the south, like going from Washington to New York.
That's what I was thinking. What if?
And then sailing down to Florida.
What if the crazy uncle catches them in the sea?
Yeah, but we don't. I'm not saying that's a big what if, because that's perfectly reasonable to think, but we have no knowledge of what this sea looks like, where this guy is traveling from and to. So like if we had any of that information, and I was kind of thinking about having the opening map sequence as part of our intro just to help out, but I don't want to get sued by HBO because I'm literally going to use the whole opening sequence and I don't want to do that. But I feel like that map is probably the most helpful thing, but it's also completely stylized. So we don't know how accurate it could possibly be. Somebody online, I mean, with the vastness of the internet, I'm sure there's a pretty detailed map somewhere. You know, that's what made all of Tolkien's writings really well, because there was the map and there was all the history that he built before he even wrote the first book. So
well, I'm sure there's a map here too. There is a map. There's maps you can find. Maybe we should get a map on our show, or like behind us so we can point to stuff.
Like over there. Fan,
so they went here and they went down. There's a storm there.
Fan is saying that there's a trailer for the next episode. One of the things that's really frustrating about me is that I refuse to watch trailers for things that I know I'm going to watch anyway, because it's I feel like it's going to ruin it.
But I watched it.
I watched the trailer for Westworld and I kind of regret doing it.
Oh. Yeah, but that's the trailer for next season. He's talking about trailer for next episode.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's the same logic. I kind of don't want to watch it because I don't want to have that viewing experience ruined. That's my reasoning.
This is why Mirai is awesome. Here's a map. So as we talk, I will study it and figure out what happens.
I got like
holy crap! It's so complicated.
We really need to have her on because I have questions now, and I have to remember for the next episode.
I know. So next week we'll try to make it happen. I hope her quality is going to work.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, the reason we don't have Remy's wife on the show now is we're simply trying to figure out how to do the Skype call with multiple people and still be able to get it done.
Yeah, so bear with us and come back because it's going to get awesome in here. We're barely hanging on with the storytelling and all that. Mariah knows her stuff.
She knows her shit.
Yeah, so anyways, this map is like super complicated. I can't really do anything with it now, but I'm going to study it.
Your wife reads paperbacks? Is that a paperback that she just handed you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Dude, I cannot read paperbacks because of the paper type that they use. Like you know the feeling you get when claustrophobia kicks in? When you're in a tight space and you're just like...
Yeah, like you get that feeling from touching the pages.
I get that feeling from touching pages of paperbacks. That's why I only read hardcovers. So your wife is some sort of savage that she can read paperbacks. Anyway, dude, we've been talking for like an hour and 2 minutes.
Already? What else happens that we didn't talk about? Did we cover almost everything?
What we didn't talk about is, I don't know the lady that plays... hold on. Cersei. I don't know her name.
Yeah, what about her?
But every time she's giving a badass speech, one of her eyebrows is constantly raised. I think that's a pretty badass thing because I can't do it myself. But it's kind of over the... Yeah, exactly. Imagine giving a whole speech that way. She did that in this episode. And then she went on to another sequence.
That would hurt.
Eyebrow was raised again.
Hey.
What if they're protecting them? Oh, I missed it.
She's honing that like evil queen kind of thing, though.
I really like that about these actresses. It's the same with Robin Wright in House of Cards. Like they're playing these cold, badass characters, and when you listen to the interviews in real life, they're either really shy, really down to earth, like they're nothing like these characters that they play. So it makes it even more impressive that these ladies are. They're almost intimidating you. They're to a point of being like, I never want to cross paths with this queen or this first lady. I love this queen. I love hating this queen. Sorry, I'm way behind on these comments. Yeah. What do you guys think of the untouched North, where the White Walkers live? What if there's a civilization beyond there we don't know of yet?
Well, there's the children.
Yeah, by the way, you know in the last episode that we had, people were telling us what the children did, like they saved that guy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It went right over my head that they were talking about the people, like those things that are called the children, not actually the children. I was like, what children saved that guy? Did I miss this? And then
they're like half fairies.
Yeah. And then when I went back to re-edit the opening sequence, somebody called those the children of the forest or something. I was like, oh... That's what they meant. So, like, literally a week later is when I finally understood the comments in the last episode.
And I'm sure they're gonna help, because by the end, dude, by the end of this, it has to be like a battle royale of all these, like everyone against White Walkers.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing with the White Walkers is, and we'll talk about this over the next few weeks. It almost seems like not the most interesting, not the most threatening thing that's happening in this show.
What?
To me, it doesn't. And I know I'm wrong, because obviously every episode they're saying the White Walkers are coming. Every person saying the White Walkers are coming. But at the same time, there's enough armies and there's enough tension between the things that it seems more important, the drama that's happening between these main characters, than these White Walkers.
Yeah, but that's the point.
I understand that's the point.
It's like...
Because, like, let me ask you this. If the White Walkers were fighting Dany's army and Daenerys, what could they possibly do to the dragons? Because, like,
if a dragon dies, they can bring it back to life, and the dragon would be a zombie dragon. That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. But what I'm saying is, like, up until the point that the dragon possibly dies, they're up in the air. They're spitting fire, literally. So, I mean, the zombies are badass. They're unstoppable. They can't fly, though.
Well, no, they can't. So they can be burned from the
top. Right. Just like a helicopter. Like, I mean, as awful as it is, just like we did in Vietnam. We would just, like, fly over them and just kill, like, a whole bunch of people down below. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
maybe they're so cold you can't burn them. I don't know.
Maybe.
But if
maybe
that's the case, then that's...
Oh,
maybe that's a good angle. Maybe
I'm an idiot. You're right. That literally is it. You can't burn them. I completely forgot. There's only one way they die. Never mind.
Can't?
No.
It's the Valyrian steel, right?
Yeah, that whole spiel that I had. Exactly. That whole spiel that I just had, completely forget it, everybody, because I was wrong. Never mind. The first scene in the series, surprise attack. Night King could warg into the dragon. Oh, is that a thing? Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
See, I would much rather an evil person get the dragon than a good guy.
But I mean, that'd be awesome. But now gosh, man, if I was Jon Snow, I would just, like, do something to push the army of the dead towards King's Landing. But then you still have to kill them all after, in the end.
John's Landing. Jon Snow doesn't care about King's Landing at the moment, does he?
He just wants to protect the realm from the White Walkers, I guess.
I kind of really want to know how bad the winter's gonna get. That's one of the things I care about.
Like, how cold? Well, it's gonna last a few years at least.
Right, but I mean, is it just cold? That's all it is.
I don't know.
I mean, if it's just cold, I imagine it's not just the cold. Because, like, if Ned Stark was, like, in every other sequence was saying the winter's coming, he's not just saying, hey, it's going to be cold. Like, I imagine there's more.
Winter's coming.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what else comes with the winter?
The White Walkers, man.
So they come out every winter? Whenever it comes around in that universe?
Whenever winter comes around? I don't know. But they used to a long few winters ago.
Okay.
Like, this was the longest summer they've had in a while.
Sorry.
What?
Oh god.
This is a nice comment.
Yeah. It's gonna get it's gonna get like Canada cold. Oh god, that's so good. Sorry. I might just completely ignore the comments from now on because, like, I get way too distracted by them.
What else do we Zhao or Abel, any ideas what else we could talk about this episode? Because, I mean, theories now, who knows? So many things have happened that changes everything. Everything.
Actually, it's been a while when things have happened that change everything.
I mean, a lot of things happen now. Like,
a lot of things have happened.
Jon Snow's going to go meet Khaleesi.
Okay.
Sam is going to cure the stone disease thing. you know, Theon and his sisters are no, their army's done for.
What do you? There's a question. Where do you think Theon's going? What's in the future for Theon?
Jumped off the boat.
Right, but I mean he's floating now, so who cares?
Yeah, but who cares? Who cares about him? Again, like they only have 2 seasons to close this whole story off. Why would they waste time on that character?
Yeah, but they're not gonna.
It's important, so he must.
They're not just gonna leave him in the ocean floating. Which, by the way, this is gonna be an exactly perfect thing.
No,
that's a problem.
you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna go save his sister. Is what's gonna happen.
Doubt it.
Oh. I guess the boat is going a little too fast for him to swim after it.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. This is another example of this problem that this show has. Because I imagine in the next episode or something, he's just going to come on shore, and whatever. I'm not going to get into this again because like things don't happen that way immediately. Like he's just not going to be in the middle of the sea in a battle, jumps off, and next episode he's just on shore again, just continuing. And I imagine it's going to happen again. It's going to happen where next episode he's just, come on the beach. He's going to be a little bit tired, but it's going to look like it was yesterday.
Well, they're not. The seas are not that far. Like it's probably like 10 miles.
Okay.
Pulling that number out of my butt.
Theon's going to live. I agree, but I wonder what's going to happen with him in the future.
I mean, what was the purpose of him? Character development? Yes, I guess we thought he was stronger, but then he's back to his tortured self because he went through some shit.
Right. So if he's tortured now, like, is he going to go back to being the servant character that he was? Is he going to go back? Does he have anybody to go back to be a servant too? Or is he just going to be a coward?
No, he's
the whole
all
time?
alone. I mean, he's going to be with... You might find some survivors and stuff, but I don't think we're going to see him for a while. He might come... When he comes back, it's going to be like to hopefully save the day. Because he's going to start feeling guilty about his... At the same time, he couldn't have done anything. He couldn't have done anything.
Right. I mean, running away was probably the smart idea to do. But it was definitely cowardice. I mean, it fit his character really well. I know.
Zal's comments are great.
The evolution of Theon. What would we do to finish off his arc? I mean...
Swim 10 miles.
I mean, I want to say somebody already finished off his arc a couple.
He swims 10 miles and then he just dies on shore because he's so tired.
Drowns right at
and I'd be okay with that.
I like him.
Okay.
I kind of don't want him to go away, but I want more out of his character than what we've gotten. Now that I think about it, way too many people have gotten their penises cut off in this show. Like,
it's true. There's so many.
It's so many. There's a whole army of them now. It's kind of weird.
His sister might kill him.
Good point.
Want to kill him, but I mean, what would Theon have done? I mean, Theon is a good fighter, I guess, but not as good as badass uncle who could fight like that. That's what he could have done. But then you could endanger the sister. He literally like took a crap and went to take a swim because he couldn't handle it. So yeah, he definitely, that's treason in a way. Sucks for him.
You know what, Remy?
Or maybe he's gonna swim back. He's probably gonna swim back to Dragonstone to tell Tyrion and Khaleesi what happened.
Oh god.
Serious? Is that Varys?
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong. I tried to Google it, and that's the closest I got to it. But no, Viserys was wasn't Viserys the name of
Viserys was Dany's brother.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The name of Dany's brother.
That's why one of her dragons is named Viserys.
Oh.
Is she like pouting and is she like just thumping around? Like she's like, you guys suck. Then Viserys fully like dead. He got the golden crown.
Yeah. We laughed about that last episode.
Right. Dude, it's like an hour and 14 minutes. I think we should wrap it up.
I'm down to wrap it up. What about Littlefinger? We talked about him extensively earlier.
I mean, if we're talking about the same thing that we were talking about before, as far as we know, he definitely has his penis.
But yeah, well, maybe... No, he doesn't.
What? I mean,
Yeah,
let's not spend too much time talking. What?
Yeah, Littlefinger has no penis. Pretty sure.
Yeah, this show is going to transition from being a weekly Game of Thrones talk show to a weekly Game of Thrones characters penis talk show. No, when was that ever implied that he ever became a eunuch?
We're still talking about it?
I mean, now...
anyways, no, wait. Wait. He has an army. What is he going to do with that army? Until we know what he decides to do with it, we have no idea what he plans on doing.
Well, I mean, he's already done it, right? He's already, what do you call it? He came to the rescue of Jon Snow. So that army has sworn allegiance to Jon Snow at the moment, right? To the north, not specifically Jon Snow.
That's the only army left to protect Winterfell right now. So it's kind of his, really. Or is it Sansa's? I don't remember.
It's Sansa's, probably. I mean, given their connection, I think.
Boys. It's supposed to be like, the crazy lady's son. What happened to him? I forgot.
I don't remember. The whole brat, that guy? The one that got slapped? That guy? That kid?
Yeah, the kid. The crazy lady's kid.
Yeah. Man, of all the things that have happened in this show that's really, satisfying, that slap was one of the most satisfying things ever.
I don't remember what slap you're talking about. He's not a eunuch.
He's obviously a cat, just like Catelyn Stark. They're spirit animals. Oh, really? Oh, man. I'm getting...
I don't know if that's a joke.
I'll believe it. I'll full on believe it. I'm getting cramps in my legs. I gotta stand up. So we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll be back next Sunday.
Next week.
And we'll have...
Next episode. And we'll have another person with us. And this is about to get a lot more serious.
Aww.
But thanks for watching anyways. We know we went off tangents quite a bit.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out. It's been an hour and almost 20 minutes. So it's awesome that you guys hung out with us. If you can, please subscribe so that way you get a notification when we're going to be back next week.
Abel, Zhao, thank you for joining us today. That was fun. So.
We'll wrap it up. I'm Nima.
Yeah, I'm Remy. And
we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night, everybody. Oh, man. My legs. Oh.
You okay, dude?
I need to... What is it that's in bananas? Potassium? I need more of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we going to battle? Are we going to battle for it?